All right, guys, welcome back to Native MMA Radio. Here with me today is a young man who I've been anxious to interview. We got Jumbo Vanderveer. He's taking on, let's go do this again, Joey Boyd at the Leo Code out in Orlando, correct?
Yes, yes.
Excellent, man. It's 185-pound matchups, 10 pounds heavier than your last matchup. Is this a better weight class for you, 185 pounds?
I feel it is. I stay quick, stay lean, and I don't lose any power. I feel like I'm losing any power.
Yeah, you're such a long, lengthy fighter. You're what, like 6'3"?
6'5".
6'5", man. So cutting down to 75, that must have been a killer for you.
Yeah, it was. It was. I don't think there'd be no need to be cutting anymore.
No, for sure. Now, obviously, you have native descent. You can tell by your look right away. You're from what tribe again?
The Cheyenne River Sioux tribe in South Dakota. Well,
Nice.
Dakota.
What brought you out to Orlando?
It was in New Smyrna Beach. That's where we're at now. There was somebody from my reservation. He was a Golden Gloves boxer. He was coaching down here, and he asked somebody back home if they knew anybody that was fighting or wanted to be serious about training. So I threw my name out there, and as soon as he asked, I said, "Yeah, let's go." And I headed out, packed a backpack, and jumped on the plane.
You hear so many guys like that's all they needed was just that one phone call, and it was gone from there. Does that seem like it really where you turned your corner in your career?
Yeah, because there's a lot of opportunities here. I mean, there's so many different promotions here. Back home, it is limited. I still have to travel from South Dakota to Colorado to Wisconsin, where I was fighting, where I fought before, in Wyoming. Everything's 8-hour drive to the fights, 13-hour drives. Here, I just got to go an hour down the road, and I can be on a show.
Yeah, 13 hours, 8 hours, man. You really got to plan that out. It's not like you can't even sleep in your own bed the day of the weigh-ins. You really got to get a hotel out there, be ready, be already out there. How is it for you to have, something just right down the road now?
It's more convenient financially because I don't have to spend gas money, the hotel, hoping that the promotion's going to say, hey, let's cover the hotel and the gas, and then realize that I'm driving 400 or 500 miles to get there. Right. Like, oh, we're going to have to give you this much instead. We thought it was only going to give you $50, $75.
No, it's crazy too. Now here you are in Orlando. You got a bunch of promotions at your will. Tell me how this whole fight with Leo Code came about.
It was last year. I had a fight. Last year I fought for him. I fought another guy that was almost my same height, 185. Another person that said that they wanted to strike, wanted to throw hands because it was supposed to be real good. They got hit a couple times and they wanted to go straight to the ground. So after that, Leo Code keeps letting me get matches. So they're giving everybody chances out here.
That's good. It's important too because you got a bunch of promotions out there. You got like Titan FC. You got a bunch of huge gyms out there as well. So you got a plethora of opponents to pick from. Was Boyd something that's always kind of been on your path, or was this somebody they just kind of threw at you and you're like, let's bang?
They asked me 2 weeks ago, last Sunday. Yeah, not this Sunday, but last Sunday they asked me, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, why not?
Now, you had another matchup right a couple weeks ago, and that kind of fell through. What happened with that?
Opponent got COVID.
Oof, it's this time of the year, man. It's crazy because a lot of people have to deal with that. There's a lot of uncertainties. Like I just had a teammate who we had everything. We already had flights booked. We're going to lose money on flights. We already had everything taken care of to go out to Montana to fight in this tournament. And they're like, hey, we're moving the venue because of COVID and we're moving the date. And we're all just like, well, nothing really we can do about that.
Hey, I had a fight June 3rd. That one I lost, rear naked choke in the first round. It's a terrible way to end it, but so I got the matchup at Combat Nights, and it was like, yeah, it was the 2 weeks after that. So it was like, let's do that because then they want to talk about if I did good on that show, that'd possibly be a pro fight later on, which was something to build to. And then a week afterwards, I was like, hey, your opponent got COVID.
Damn.
So then the Leo Code hit me back up and said, hey, your opponent fell out, I heard, so let's try to get you set up with this fight because his opponent dropped out. So I said, why not?
Yeah, I mean, once you're able to put two matchups like that together, it's almost like a match made, you know? Works
Yeah,
out that way. Makes it easy.
it is. It's going to be good just for the fact that for me, I know my boxing coach Billy Walters. He said I got to stop taking fights on short notice because we need to plan things, need to build up, and I get that, but I'm not getting as many training partners as I'd like.
Hmm.
I'm not being able to spar like the things that I need to be doing. So I just said it's more practice.
Yeah, it's always really good to have somebody like that on your side, you know, to be able to pull the reins back a little bit and be like, hey, you know, maybe we should go this route, maybe we should do this. It's super important to have somebody like that in your corner.
It is, and the jiu-jitsu coach BJ Rivera, he flew in from Las Vegas last year and he's been here, so he's been helping with everything too. And he's that same way. He's the one that he gets me up in the mornings. We'll be at the beach at 6 o'clock. He has me running, doing just crazy drills. My cardio is so great now. I don't feel like I'm drowning on the ground. That's the good thing.
Yeah, that's important too because a lot of the like Habib Nurmagomedov, for example, he literally drowns people on the ground. It's so crazy what he's able to do to them and just hold them at their will.
Mine's just with the ground, it's the lack of not doing it so much. So as soon as something happens, it's like a partial of a second later, it's like I should have did that instead.
Yeah.
And it just has that trickle effect. It slowly goes down farther and farther. But you put me in the front seat with anybody though, I'll whoop their ass. I know that.
There we go. Obviously, you would like to keep this fight with Boyd standing. What are some of your, you know, like paths to victory at what tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah. I gotta stay long, gotta stay sharp. I gotta hit him with all the arrows from the outside.
100%.
So I get him
Yeah.
looking away and then get them tomahawks going.
Even at 185 pounds, you're still a very long and lengthy guy. So you know, your reach has to give a lot of guys problems.
It definitely does, but it's not the fear of being hit or getting hurt. It's like, okay, I'm gonna move. They're not gonna hit me. They don't, and it's fine. I don't. But once they get a hold of my legs, it's because they're always so shorter,
Mm.
and I'm so tall that leverage works against. But I mean, we'll get those creased out of the way. We get all those wrinkles creased out come September when I'm back in
Right.
South Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, someone's gonna eat a knee really soon here if they keep reaching for those knees, though.
And that almost happened in my last fight when I kicked my opponent. First kick, took him out. He went straight down, and as he got up, I went to grab. And because I was training for that pro fight that I was supposed to have that was postponed, I went for his head and I threw a knee, and I had to just pull it back just ever so because it was coming right to the face.
Yeah.
But I just got it low enough right to his chest, and that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to, not just for this past this fight. The pro aspect is the knees to be able to stop that from coming in.
100%. And that's obviously, you know, pretty good ring awareness from you too to realize like, oh shit, I can't throw that in this spot right now. So good on you for being able to pick that up mid fight because a lot of things are going on. You see a lot of guys just go ahead and throw those, especially like even in championship fights. You've seen UFC fighters throw knees on downed opponents. So for you to be able to pull those reins back is good on you.
Definitely, yeah. We built up from March for this pro fight that I was supposed to have in June in South Dakota for Okichita Fight Promotions. And once we did so much work with the knees and elbows, I was looking forward to that, letting somebody grab me and just throwing elbows from every which way I possibly could. But then once I was like, all right, this next fight's an amateur fight. I didn't get to do that pro debut, so it's amateur fight. Things have to be held back.
100%. This fight's also amateur as well, correct?
Yes, so it'll be my last amateur one here.
And then you're gonna go on to pro after this.
They do allow elbows down here with amateur fights, but both fighters have to agree.
Have you guys already went into those negotiations with Boyd?
No, it's probably. I feel like it's going to be a no, just because of the mindset of a lot of people are, if I'm going to be taking that kind of damage, I need to be getting paid for it.
No, makes sense. I get that 100%.
But my mindset is like, nah, let's use whatever we can, bat a brick, anything we get our hands on. You know what I mean? Gotta win. It doesn't.
Get in there and just bang that shit out.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that though. It's respect for that decision. That's a big choice that somebody's career, their life.
Yeah,
for
sure.
It's not just that one fight and that's glory. It's going to be a long path. So You got to protect yourself now as amateurs for that. So I get that. I don't shun anybody for saying no, I don't want to do that. But it would be a lot nicer if they did.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I'm sure you got some little razor sharp elbows too. So I could only imagine what you could do to somebody.
I'm waiting for those Muay Thai fights to start coming in.
Right. Now, tell me a little bit about you growing up. You said you grew up in South Dakota, correct?
Yes,
Did you
on the
grow up on the reservation?
Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe.
Nice, nice, nice. What was it like growing up out there?
That is our banner right there.
There we go. I
Got it
like it.
all in there. The sky, the earth, the Chinumpas. Got it all. It was it was desolate. Very desolate. And you see everything is real black and white there.
Hmm.
It's either you're making it or you're not making it. And you just fall in the same little cycle.
That's how it is out here. So my old lady, she's from the Mojave tribe, and their reservation's literally right down the road from us right now. And it's kind of the same thing, you know what I mean? It's super black and white. Either you fall down the road of fucking drinking and doing drugs, or you go to college and be successful.
And it's the college and successful thing when I was growing up, it was kind of like shunned on because then you're a nerd, you're kind of
Hmm.
you're different, you try to be somebody else. Opportunities were always there, we just never took them.
100%. And I hear that a lot, especially like we have fighters in our gym who are off the reservation, and they're like, man, I'm just trying to do everything to stay away from all the other stuff because it's literally in your face 24/7.
It is. It is. There's the outlets are different. You know what I mean? It's not here. Here I can walk down the road, I go to the park right across the road. I go to YMCA. I go to there's 5 gyms within a mile of me. Back home we
Hmm.
didn't have that. You have to wait for open gyms once on the week. Everybody's running around just doing their own thing.
So for you, growing up there, starting your career there, how was it? Were you able to get a bunch of training partners? Were you able to get, proper training?
No, none of it at all. It wasn't a. I didn't start fighting until 2017. I just started, and it was because I cornered my brother at a promotion, Sparta Combat League,
Hmm.
out of Colorado, founded by Jeff Cisnero. He had a show in Rapid City in the Black Hills, and my brother was fighting on there. So I cornered and taped his hands. As soon as I stepped in the back room, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to give this a try. But we don't have those kind of gyms back home. We don't have training partners. My training regimen was lifting weights and running. That was it.
Yeah. So, and then trying to even go into a fight like that, you see a lot of anyone can lift weights, you know what I mean? And you see a lot of guys, especially like in our gym, we get like a lot of those like bodybuilder motherfuckers coming in. And a lot of those guys, bro, they're gassed during the workouts.
Yeah, and that's the thing was I was always lifting weights, trying to get bigger, bigger, bigger. And then once I came here last year and started training. We started doing the striking, the ground, everything. The weights just kind of fell off. I would do
Mhm.
the conditioning part, but not the way I was lifting before because I realized like that is not the set of skills that I need inside that octane. It's not
No,
gonna
for
do me.
sure.
It's not the same. It's not bench pressing. None of that stuff is the same.
And a lot of that too, like you see a lot of these strong guys, they get winded very easily.
That's I was lucky enough that I've lifted and I tried to do as proper as I could. That now my strength is great. The power isn't as strong, but the strength is good. So now my stamina is even better. So now I can do these things for rounds after rounds after rounds. And my my trainer and coach BJ, he had me doing 15-minute sessions. So it'd be 3 minute boxing, 3 minute kickboxing, 3 minute MMA, back into 3 minute boxing, back into that 3 minute uh, MMA again. But that was a continuous round. That was one round, and he would
Wow.
have to switch each person off each time.
Just get you a fresh opponent in there every time.
Yeah. So after that, it was just now I feel great with the cardio.
Yeah,
That's not a
that's got to
problem.
be crazy, especially when you get a fresh guy in there, man. That really pushes you because they're ready to go. They're ready to take your head off, and you're just like, oh shit, I just got done with the last round, bro.
Yeah. I climb up off the ground from the grappling, and I'm barely getting up, and then the other guy's already standing there with his gloves in my face, ready to go. He's like, "Come on!" I'm like, "Oh man, this guy." But I mean, they push me. I definitely have the opportunity now. I definitely have the resources. Like the training partners is a little different, but I'll have to travel to Orlando and things like that to get the training partners. I've had people offer to spar with me and help me train. So I have the resources now, and I'm trying to utilize it the best I can.
Now, long term, big picture, do you plan on staying in the Florida area, or would you like to maybe go back home, start a gym out there so that kids have the opportunities that you didn't?
That's something that I always want to do was a gym, what any kind of fitness gym, especially with athletic clubs. But now I would really love the natives have such good cardio.
For sure,
You know,
yeah.
like basketball, you see them play basketball, they call it run and gun.
Hmm.
We're out running every team. We're out shooting. We don't care if we miss the ball. We're still running. We're running. So to be able to do that with a grappling program and a striking program, we'd have a native team.
We'd have world champions, 100%.
And that's something, yeah, I would like to do. But I know that I need to get overseas first so I can take
Hmm.
this striking to another level part.
So something like Thailand?
Oh yeah, my friend Will Chope, he was here last year coaching at the gym. And he's fought in the UFC, he's fought bare knuckle fighting, and he has over 120 fights, I believe. And he does that. He lives in Thailand now, and he runs his own promotion. And he's 6'4".
Oh, so you kind of the same looks you get then.
He used to fight, yeah. So I want to be over there for the striking because to be able to throw them elbows from the top like that, that's a long tomahawk coming down.
For sure.
It would, but the opportunities are great there, and to be able to bring that back here would be awesome.
Yeah, you see, I mean, even like on this weekend's UFC card, Rafael Fiziev, he's got a gym out there. I believe he's one of the head coaches at Tiger Muay Thai.
Yes.
And that dude, man, he throws some of the most gnarliest leg kicks and body kicks I've ever seen.
That's one of the things that I like to pride myself on is my leg kicks.
Yeah, it seemed like that's been like a whole changing of the guard the past 4 or 5 years. Everyone's been doing those lower calf kicks, and they're super effective.
They definitely are. And I fought this big guy in Colorado some years back, and mine was always the body, trying to hit the body, and that was the comments that they made. He was like 6'7" or 6'8", I think. And that was the thing with him was like, hey, he's a big guy. I got to try to take his body down. But now as the shorter, I realized kicking, that's a lot of leverage that I have because I'm so long.
Hmm.
I just got to throw that leg kick out there, and it's nice. I love doing that. I love this. I love fighting. This is going to be awesome. So to be able to make that pro transition, no shin guards, elbows, knees intact, it's going to be a whole nother game.
Yeah, you'll be able to show your full arsenal of tools you have in your toolbox.
But
Now, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, with the striking coach Billy Walters, he's from my reservation too. That's one of his things to go back home and open up a facility. He's been talking about that this past year.
It's super important, because like especially like out here, if we didn't have our gym, we really wouldn't have anything. There's no other real MMA gym. There's really nothing out here besides where we train at with Lucero BJJ. And we're lucky enough to have, our coach is a BJJ Dirty Dozen member. He was one of the first 12 non-Brazilians to obtain a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I always call him like he's our needle in a haystack. Like you don't find stuff like this in the middle of the desert. So the fact that we have him, it's such a blessing.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like if you go back home and take all this knowledge back. There's Rapid City just now opened up an MMA gym for one of the guys that used to fight years ago, and that's 2.5 hours where I'm from. Sioux Falls is 5.5 hours where I'm from, and they have an MMA gym. Fargo is 9 hours away. They have an MMA gym. So you gotta do a lot of traveling just to be able to get in that gym to try and train.
Yeah, we're talking hundreds of miles.
Trying to balance life, kids, jobs, whatever. You got to set a lot of time aside, and you got to figure out how you're going to do that. And it seems near impossible.
For sure. So if you can go home, bring a gym back, man, imagine the plethora of fighters you're going to have underneath you eventually.
That's what I'm saying, because
Because let's be real about this, man. On the res, they're fighting every single day. Like, you have to fight to survive out there. You literally have to fight to survive. Like, you grow up knowing how to fight. You grow up fighting your own cousins sometimes. Like,
yeah.
it's in our DNA. It's in our blood. We've been fighting forever, for generations upon generations upon generations. So if you don't think that we have that warrior spirit, you're damn mistaken, because there's a lot of us out here. And really, if a lot of us just had the proper training and the proper gyms around them, we would have such a different, massive effect on this sport.
It's because my older brother, we call him Sam the Muss. That's because he gets brutal. He's smashed his hands so many times, but I've watched him put a lot of people down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of seeing that you see everybody fights all the time, like you said. It's in our blood. It's in our blood. It's normal. It's normal to fight. So to be able to do that sanctioned with rules and proper training is different, because now you can take pride in that to a whole nother level. Not just pride on your own reservation, like you're the toughest person here or that, but now you're one of the toughest to your people. And then people get to see that.
I believe it was ESPN. They did a special on, I don't remember exactly what reservation it was on, but they did a boxing gym out there, and there was like a plethora of female boxers out there just whooping ass.
We have David Mashad. He's from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, Oglala Sioux tribe. That's on the other side of the state from us, because my tribe is right in the middle. Theirs is in the southwest corner of South Dakota.
Yeah, I don't think people understand it too. Lakota is separated into 4 separate tribes. Am I correct?
Yes.
So explain that a little bit so that people understand what we're talking about.
We have 4 reservations that are all Lakota. Standing Rock is here. Cheyenne River is right underneath it. A couple hours south is Rosebud. And then a few hours this way is Pine Ridge. But they're all the same people.
Mm-hmm.
But they split us up into reservations.
Yeah, and we're talking hundreds of miles apart.
It is, yeah, it is. And then on the east side of the state, we have Sisseton. Down south, we have the Yanktons. And then right across from our capital, we have Crow Creek. So there's 7 of them. Oh, Lower Brule, yeah, Lower Brule. There's 7 reservations in our state.
And that pretty much covers up all of the Dakota.
And his job opportunities, like I said, desolate.
Yeah.
You get 2,000 jobs for 20,000 people. The opportunities.
There's a lot of scratching and crawling out there, man. It's crazy.
That's why when I got the opportunity to come here, I came all the way here. If I can take back whatever I can home, and in the hopes of building a team, that would be awesome.
No, for sure. Right now, focus on Boyd. Tell me, what have you done to prepare for him exactly?
This would be just the same approach. Keep my hands sharp, but I've just been doing a lot of hip movements, a lot of more moving the hips from side to side, learning to circle around and around instead of straight forward. Straight forward has always been my approach, and just sticking my hands straight out there, let them run into one of them.
Yeah, you see a lot of fighters doing that, especially early on in their career. They back straight up instead of trying to cut the angles. Sean O'Malley's one of the best at cutting angles. You'll see how he is. I mean, his fight a couple weeks ago, he does it very well. Once you're thinking he's going to move back, he moves off to the side, pops you a couple more times, and he does that very flawlessly.
That's what my coaches have me doing, rounding that corner, stepping off. I step off, you could throw a punch, you could throw a kick, you could throw a knee. It opens back up instead of straight backwards, and all I'm getting is backward punches.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the side, and you could open up a whole new movement.
Especially for your opponent, because now usually if you back up right forth, he could just come punch you down. But now he's got to recenter himself. By the time he's recentering, you've already got a couple shots into him. You're already now moving back over to the side you were originally at. I mean, working those angles, it's important, man.
Yeah, this past year I've taken a lot. Went from never training, just getting in the cage and fighting, to this last year of just having to learn so much. Now it's just putting those tools to use while I'm in there, which is, it takes a little time, and I am getting older. It's good, but it's gonna have to be explosive. Once I start, it's gonna have to go as quickly as I can to get things done that I need to.
No looking back, just go.
So this one, yeah, I gotta put everything that they've been teaching me. I gotta put it all to use at once. Like no, can't hesitate, no hesitation.
100%. How's the weight cut going?
I'm good. I feel strong. I just came back from getting a massage earlier this morning. I feel so energetic.
And that's
I'm
important,
so
man.
I'm pumped. I'm ready for this one.
Your weigh-ins are today. So I spoke to Casey Kinney. He fights in the UFC. I spoke to him last night, and he was literally in a sauna, like sweat dripping down his face, just like, this is what we do.
I'm bumping up to 205 for my next one after this.
Where do you feel you're best at?
I feel my best at 185, but I'm tall. I'm not that big. 205, the guys are bigger. In my mind, has always wanted to fight the biggest guy.
Right.
But the career that I got to do, I can't do that. I got to fight smart. I got to fight at 180. If 185 is what it's going to be at for these striking matches, that's probably what it's going to be at.
It makes sense. It seems like you have a pretty good team behind you too, and they're going to push you in the right direction as well.
They definitely do. They definitely do. Billy Walters and BJ Rivera, yeah. They're always pushing me.
Awesome, man. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you have weigh-ins to get to here in a little bit. But before I let you go, I want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to your teammates, sponsors, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
All right, there's a plethora of lists here. First, I want to start with Billy Walters. He's from my reservation back home. He's the one that gave me the opportunity to first come down here. BJ Rivera, he's the jiu-jitsu coach. He's also my trainer / coach, and he's let me rent a room here too, so it's awesome. Breakers, they're the ones that sponsored my last fight. That's a restaurant a couple of the guys work at. Sean Skiro, he's one of the sponsors. He has his own what do you call it, home inspection place. He's helped with that. And my training partners, call him Big Mike. Shannon Dallas Hall from American Gladiators. Just lets me utilize her gym, and Deline Boxing. They let me utilize their gym too, and all the training partners over there. And I want to shout out, thank you for having me on here.
No, of course, man. I like I said, I've been trying to get this done for a couple weeks now, so I'm super excited that we're actually going to be able to sit down and enjoy this conversation.
Tomorrow it's going to be fireworks, and now that I'm on here talking about it, it's the only one way to come out, and that's victorious. So
exactly. Now, where can the fans find you on social media?
Instagram is at Keeper of the Plains, and Facebook is a little bit harder because it's in my native name. It's Makpiai Chatagya.
Dig it.
Touch the clouds.
I like it. I like it.
But they're both linked. The Facebook is linked to my Instagram. So Instagram is probably the easiest. It'll be Keeper of the Plains.
Excellent, man. Again, you're fighting, what is it? Jay Boyd. That is tomorrow night in Orlando, April 7th, 2021. Leo code, 185-pound MMA matchup. Do you know where on the card you're at?
I would be on the main event, on the main card, the third fight on the main card.
Okay, so right in the middle then.
I think there's 7 on the main card.
Excellent. Oh, yeah, so there's 2 title fights. You guys go pretty much right before the title fights.
I've been lucky enough that Leleo has been, after my first one was on the undercard. Every time they put me on after that, it's been on the main card, so.
It just means your money, bro, your money.
Yeah, and I gotta perform that way so I can get seen, because there's a lot of big people down this way.
No, for sure. Well, William, I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you again for doing this, and I can't wait to watch your fight tomorrow night.
Sure, I'll let out some more hoops when I get done, when I win.
No, 100%. We're going to do this again.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Take care.
Right. You have a good one.